All right. How are you guys doing? So I started this channel. The reason was to gain experience in the financial market and share my journey with you guys on this. But recently I've been making videos on other influencers, like how they scam you, and how you guys can have the right knowledge about it, and yeah, how you can stay away from that, and who are the right people on this social media, and whom you can follow on that part. But right now, in this video, we're gonna do analysis on GBP USD, GBP JPY, and the most important pair, gold. Keep in mind, this analysis video will be long a little bit, but also useful at the same time. So we're gonna break down everything from the technical to fundamental part of the whole year of 2024, you can say, and now how you can use that information to apply in the upcoming year in 2025. But wait, before we do the analysis, I want you to check our web store, which is totally free. I just want you guys to join that because we're gonna do some giveaways in future. It and not in a long future. I mean, like just you can say a month or so. But yeah, stick there to get more information about the giveaways. So yeah, let's do the analysis. Let's jump to the screen. Let's get started. So right now the first pair we're gonna take is GBP USD. Okay, we're gonna start from January 2024. Okay, on the January month, on the 12th January, we had the UK GDP report shown on the contraction. All right, on the 12th date, right? Is that so? So here is the where we had a little bit of a fundamental data coming in. Okay, this is a signal that the economy was weak at that time and causing the pound to drop against the dollar. And then on the 25th of January here, okay, on the 25th of January, around this area, we had the Fed hinted at the more rate hikes and boosting the USD and the dragging GBP USD a little bit lower. So that's why you can see when we started in this month here, okay, when we started in this month, you can see we've been consolidating, and once we had the data coming in, you can see start of the February, because we had the data on 25th January, we see a little bit of a drop coming up to this support zone, and before after that, I mean, we had a nice bull run to the upside until the March started. Now the reason we had this bull run, because in the February we do not have important data coming in, but also keep in mind, by the mid-March, there was a US banking Trump oil market investor sold off the dollars and the pound gained more strength here. So GBP USD was going up at this moment. Okay, we were getting good rates here, you can say good economical data on this pair. Towards the end of the month, on 27th of March, you can say till here, we had UK wages growth data added, further supported to the pound as market anticipated more Bank of England rate hikes. Okay, the reason I'm able to point out the every date and everything like that is because I have a note, so that can help you guys to have a clarity of while we do the technical analysis as well. Now looking at the technical part at the same time here, you can see after taking a support, we had a nice break of structure here. But with this break of structure, you can say prices immediately closed down back below the structure, and after that we had a nice retest of that area, confirming that we are not going above this resistance at this moment due to the data was not good enough. So we started trending to the downside after the 25th or 27th of March. I'm directly jumping to the June because after this data, price was just trending to the downside here, making this as a last low here in the month of April here. So keep in mind, in the past month we got the data which was not good for the pound USD. Okay, and now the data we are coming in the upcoming June. On 18 June, the Fed pauses that rate hikes and softening the dollar here, and the drives GBP USD more higher. Now this was in the June, okay, directly in this area. Keep in mind, after this drive down here, we had a good data in March, but even though we are still going down, the reason is, this is my theory here, as like most of the institutions and banking and banking investment stuff like that, most likely they drive price a little bit down before the data or after the data, to get a lower price entry, to get a better price entry point for themselves, and after that the price do drive down a little properly. But the reason they got this entry point is, if you look at the technical part at the same time, we've been trending to the upside here, had a consolidation zone, had a fake out here at this point, and then we drive down a little bit to recover at least 70 to 80%, because whenever market do trends up, it needs to recover around 70 to 80% to move further up. To confirm this theory, you can take a look here. In that March 2023, we had a nice uptrend, and after that, making a little bit of a retracement here, and then we had another uptrend. But still, market did came down to recover of this whole move around 70 to 80%. Now, after seeing this high making a new high here, we see another low covering up around same 60 to 70%, you can say. Then market started trending to the upside. Now, coming up to, we already got the good data in June, right? In the start of the June here, you can say on June 18th here. Okay, so once we had the good data, at that time we were doing a consolidation. I'm going to a little bit zoom in here because we are focusing at this part here. Okay, all right. So now you can see, like, after making this higher low here, you can say, then we had some consolidation around this point. Price started to, making lower low and stuff like that. Now, what I think at this point is there was not enough data for price to push down, and there was not enough seller for price to drive down here. And because of the good data coming in into the June 18th, the price started to moving up. And by the end of the 30 June, there was really important data. Due to that, price did drive up here crazily. So the Bank of England raised the rate aggressively by the end of the month. So that's why we had a nice push to the upside. Now breaking at the same time, keep in mind that we were breaking these highs, these levels as well. Okay, this is a really important key level. Price have rejected multiple times, and now we are breaking above this area. We need to see some kind of a retracement or stuff like that. Now, for me to confirm that price will drive down from here is, first thing, if price do come down, okay, let's assume price do break above and retest and then go up. This is the first scenario we can expect. But if price do go up and come down a little bit and retrace and then things like this, that confirms that price will continue to go down. Okay, but it was nothing like that. What happened was price did the recovery, also maintaining the low here, and after recovering around 70 to 80%, price started moving up. All right, I'm gonna remove these drawings here. Now, in the upcoming September, in the August, we did continue the bull run here. Now, in the upcoming September, on 15th of September, we had a UK inflation data shown sign of slowing and reducing expectation of future rate hikes. This weighted on GBP USD later on 27th of September as well. Surging the US bond yield strengthened the USD and further pursuing the pair. So basically, we had another data coming in on the 27th and 15th of September. The data shows that it was not good for the pound at this moment, because there was a slow inflation things coming in, and they started doing the rate hikes. And at the same time, there was a US bond yield which was getting stronger. So that data was good for USD basically, and due to that, we started consolidation at this point after the data around 27 or so. Once we get the data, you can see what price did is started aggressively pulling down here, you can say. Okay, now keep in mind, this is the low we had. Once we do break this low, what do we see? A nice retest of that and continue making lower low. This was the area where I should get the confirmation that price trend has been changed. Now you can see we did come back above before having a nice drop down here. Now also keep in mind that is the start of the November, but in the November we didn't have that important data that I can mark up right now. Okay, but in the finally the December, central bank around the globe adopted the more dovish stance, the USD weakened and giving GBP USD lift of the end of the year. So basically, in this end of the year here, you can say, like, before we go into the December month, we seen a change in the market here. You can say price started to trending to the upside. Now this coming into the retracement part here, I think price will most likely go up from here because we have a good key fundamental detail here. Okay, so that is analysis based on only on fundamentals here. So now if we talk about the technical part, as I am scalper, I will just look at the important things based on the daily time frame. So what I see is price have been trending to the downside Also keeping in mind that looking at the 4 hour time frame, we are still changing the trend as well a little bit. Now we are coming back to retrace these levels. Now until or unless we do not break this low here we are good for price to continue moving up. Okay, now if we do not break this low, according to me, if I will just move down to a lower time frame like 1 hour to mark a proper high here, so I know like this is a proper high here we have. Okay, now looking at this structure here we have, what I understand is that price have this level where it started trending up. Okay, so it will have a rejection point here. Okay, it will have a rejection point. So what we can see here based on 1 hour time frame is we can see some kind of a consolidation, or maybe a little dip to the downside below this level, and then we can see a change in the market direction to recover around like 50 to 70% to move down or move up. Okay, so basically we need to check the data and of the upcoming December data. Due to that, we will have more clear understanding where price will move here. Okay, now looking at the time frame, like I'll go to 4 hour time frame again. Now looking at this, I can see that price have been trending to the downside. Okay, now this is a sudden change in the market. Okay, now what I will be looking here is if we are breaking this lows here, that means like we're gonna push down to this areas. Okay, before either having a nice upside, or most likely we're gonna have a nice downside. To do that, we're most likely gonna reject and consolidate. Then when we have the breakup structure, we need a retest of the zone, or maybe a further retest till here, but we need to see that we do not break the previous high we have here. Okay, then we can see another low. That is a confirmation for price to trend to the downside more. Okay, but this is a technical part. Okay, let's assume if we get a better data coming in into the December that is good for GBUSD at this moment, then we can see that price might continue going to the downside or the upside. It depends on the data as well. Now if I'll be looking, as I'm the scalper, I do not take in mind like what price will do. Okay, I'm just gonna use this thing that I have built. Okay, basically what it does, it helped me mark out the yesterday low and highs of the weekly time frame to give me a proper perspective what price will do at this moment. Okay, so now I can see that you know we are sitting at the weekly low here. What does that mean basically is that on the weekly time frame, we can see that after price when started moving, we were respected the weekly high and we started flip bearish and breaking the low of the weekly candle. I mean previous weekly candle basically. Okay, so what we can see either is that price may continue coming down to this point of area, or we might see that price may go up and reject and break the highs again. Because yeah, right now I'm recording this video on Sunday, so basically we might see the upcoming week. Because most likely what I'm thinking here is that we might see a little dip here, and then we can see the next candle coming up to this high levels. Okay, so now let me go to 15-minute time frame just to clear out some things, because I have a perspective for bigger time frame. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna mark some zones here. Okay, now looking at this here, what I see is that price have strongly started to move down, and we are consolidating at this moment on the weekly low here, right? So either we're gonna have a push to the upside till around 126,550 before moving further. So I think I'm gonna wait for price to either break below this structure that it have built here right now. The reason I have marked this wick here is because there is a multiple rejection point. Even if we do get a break of structure here, I want to see a proper retest and a proper structure to build before I take any sells here. At the same time, the reason I have marked this as a high is because of this structure we've been building. Okay, after making the low here, we trended to the upside, then made a low again, high, still respecting the low. made a high. So basically this is a structure, you can say, right now, that price have been trending to the upside. Okay, so if we do break above, I think there is a larger possibility that we can get around 30 pips on out of this trade. Okay, so that is my view and perspective on GBP USD. And it also keep in mind, it gave me a more understanding what price will do based on the fundamental that is upcoming. Also, let's just jump. I just jumped to the weekly time frame here to show you guys that this is important as well. I want to plot this for you here. You can say that price have been trending this side here, and we are at this key level here. Price have retested this area multiple times. Okay, so there's a larger possibility here that we might have a larger rejection, and we might pump up to the upside based on a weekly time frame, because you can see after multiple closures, after multiple weekly closures, you can say, then we had a nice push to the upside. Okay, here we had only two, and here we had only like two or three as well. So what I'm expecting, even if we do come down and break down a little bit, I'm still expecting a larger move to the upside till at least around this areas for price to make any other things on a technical side. Okay, this is my way of looking at the perspective here on GBP USD, and that's my analysis, to be honest. And also keep in mind, this is a really key area here we have. So it's really good to watch what price will do next week or the upcoming next month, you can say, when the start of the new year, basically. Okay, so yeah, that is the important analysis that I have. It gives me more clarity. I hope it was helpful for you as well. Also keep in mind, I'm still learning the fundamentals here. Okay, so I'm just sharing what I have written down, and what I think is was important in the past year as I went off the fundamental side. So yeah, now coming up to GBP I'm gonna just shift to daily time frame here. Okay, looking at this market structure here, you can say we're gonna start from January as well. Here we can say that we started having a really nice bullish run throughout the whole year. Then we had a nice sell coming in to the 208. Okay, so let's start with this here. Okay, in the February 10th, we had the Bank of Japan stuck to this ultra loose monetary policy, weakening the yen and pushing GBP JPY higher. So in February, we had an ultimate change on GBP JPY. I mean, sorry, yen. The Bank of Japan was changing that policy or something like that. Due to that, we had a nice push to the upside. Okay, in July, however, in late July, and the Bank of Japan surprised the market by making a slight changes in the policy framework that gives even more strength to the pound yen to go higher. Now this event happened like in February 10th. Okay, due to that, we had a nice push to the upside. Okay, here you can see by the end of the Feb we were here, and then in July we had another data. So in March, even and April, we started moving up, even in May as well. Okay, for the next 3 months we had a nice push to the upside due to that data. Okay, now in the July we had another data, that was that Bank of Japan surprised the market by making a slight changes to its policy framework. Now this is important. Due to this small policy change, the yen was really strong, and that this caused to GBP JPY collapse here. Due to that, we had this recovery of 70 to 80%. Okay, now looking at the technical side, and for me this is a recovery. We are still not going down, basically. Okay, this was just a recovery phase here for price to move further to the upside. Okay, now in the October 10th, Bank of England paused their rate hikes and softening the pound, which also weighted on GBP JPY. Now this happened in October, around this area. In the meantime, what price was doing. Now let's take a look at the technical part as well. Okay, now let's take a look at the weekly time frame as well. At the same time, you can see we've been trending to the upside for quite some time. If I zoom out a little bit, you can see that we are on a really higher time frame. Okay, and I think like at this point we might see some reaction to the downside for price to move up further. Also keep in mind that this is the area where price have last rejected and fall down, and this fall was a really strong one. And what I think here is that if price do tap into this areas, we're gonna see a nice pull down till 170 or so, but we need some kind of a data for that. As I said, keep in mind, like even on the daily time frame, we this huge drop we had was because of there was a change in Bank of Japan framework policy, right? So we need some kind of a fundamental as well for price to move like this. Okay, now in November, Japan GDP reports showed strong growth, and this boosted yen and dragging GBP JPY once again a little bit lower. Now this happened in November. Okay, basically, so in the start of November, you can see we started consolidating. Keep in mind, at the same time, we already have recovered around 50 to 60% here, so we see another drop in the price. Now, right now, what are the key fundamentals is the upcoming December that I need to mark it out. So we might see that in the upcoming videos, you can say, or upcoming live stream we're gonna do. But yeah, this is the important key factor we had on the GBP JPY on the fundamental side. Now looking at the analysis part, so what I think here important stuff is I'm gonna mark the highs and the lows we have where price have rejected quite good recently. Okay, also keep in mind we had this based on a weekly and a monthly time frame. Also keep in mind this is on a monthly time frame as well. We had quite a good rejections. Okay, I'm gonna mark this and this zone, both of them. Now looking at this, you can see that price did went down, but it was respecting the low as well. At the same time, I'm gonna go to 4 hour time frame because we're gonna do scalping, right? We are not expecting any big move, and we are not trading based on daily time frame here. Now looking at this, I already have, because of this indicator that I have built, I already know where price is going. Okay, so we have this is a weekly low and this is a weekly high. We recently break the previous weekly candle high and price was trending to the upside. Also keep in mind this is the current daily high and lows. Now I'm gonna just switch to 1 hour time frame here just to check what price have been doing. Also I need to mark a little bit on the 4 hour time frame. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is mark this zone out because the last consolidation we had here after price did break above and started going up. Okay, and the important strong area for me is this one because we have a weekly high which was broken here, and after that we did multiple retests at this zone and for price to after that price did further push up. Okay, now also keep in mind after this huge drop down and doing a retest, we made a high, then made a low, and did a little bit of consolidation on a smaller time frame, you can say. Then this was the last high we made, and then we were dropping completely again and again. Okay, now what I see here is that price is still pushing to the upside, and I think it will continue going up. Okay, basically, uh, so let's jump to 1 hour time frame to give you a better look at the time frame here. So what I think here is I'm gonna mark this zone out because now this was the recent structure where price have broken above. Okay, so I'm gonna mark this zone out here. Now we are resting here. Okay, basically we are not doing anything, we are consolidating at this moment. Okay, so if I am looking for any trade ideas here, what I'll be looking for is something strong for price to continue either going up. So I'll be looking for buys that will be above this structure, I guess, because this is no trade zone. I do not see something important for me right now to trade. Also keep in mind after this huge move, I'm expecting a recovery of around 50 to 60%. So the main important key level for me will be this zone here, and I think if price do come down here, I think that will be great. So something like this we can expect, and a little bit of a consolidation, and then if we drive back up. Okay, so yeah, this is something I think according to me can happen. Okay, this is my perspective. I'm gonna remove this here now. Yeah, that is how I look at the time frame. I mean, looking at this GBP JPY at this moment. Also keep in mind that if price do move further up, we need good data good fundamental data to price to move this way. Okay, so yeah, that is my perspective on this prime frames. Okay, on GBP, JPY, and GBP USD. I hope you get my points. I hope like you understand what I'm trying to say here. Now coming up to the main important pair, which is gold here. I'm gonna hide this down because we're gonna do start from the daily. Now in the 2024, with the key fundamental data we had on gold, which is really important. Okay, in the mid March, we had the US banking turmoil triggered a wave of a risk in the sentimental. So gold was a, like a, safe haven asset basically. So people started buying the gold. Basically, we had some banking sector issue in the March banking crisis or something like that. Due to that, we had this bullish momentum coming in the market. Okay, also keep in mind, due to before that we've been like consolidating at this moment. So on the technical part, what I'm seeing here is that after the consolidation, we did break the structure here, and price was really strongly bullish here, and it did continue going up. Now in the early May, the US debt crisis, you can say, because there is a huge debt on the US that made really uncertainty in the financial market. So gold was again, there is keep in mind, when there is any uncertainty in the financial market or in the world. Okay, if there is any natural crisis does occur and it was affecting the any country economy, then gold will go up because it is a safe haven asset. Everyone think as that whenever there is something that is not people think it is because gold was the first currency basically, right? So yeah, due to that, even in the late May, this data when it did came in, we've seen some of a consolidation in the May, you can say. Okay, but we were not going down because there was not enough data or enough power to sell this market at this moment. Now in the June 18th, when the Fed pauses their rate hikes, the dollar weakened and pushing gold price even higher. Now in the June 18, okay, you can say around this area, when we were resting at this, like we were just doing on the technical part, we were just doing the consolidation. We got another data coming in around this area for price to move further, is because they paused the rate hikes, and yeah, it helps dollar to get more weak, and gold was a really strong asset, so price started moving to the upside. The reason the gold stays strong is because of the past data we were getting. Now, in the late October, the rising geopolitical tension in the Middle East created another rush to the safe haven, and gold continuously going to the upside. Middle East countries like Iraq and stuff like that. Yeah. So you know the rest, like what was the geopolitical tension there, and due to that, price started moving to the upside. Okay, in December, finally, as the central bank adopted a more dovish tone globally, gold ended the year as a strong note, as the weaker dollar supported the higher price. So basically, we got even data again. Dollar was not that strong enough for price to continue going to the downside on the gold. So gold stays strong here at this moment as well. And I think there is a further push coming in to the gold market. Now, if I'm looking at the technical part at the same time, you can see basic things here. We've been consolidating, price did break the structure here, and we will continue moving to the upside. Okay. Now this is the area where price was going down basically. But as I told you guys that we need to see something like this. We did not see that like this. We see a strong bullish momentum coming and price started moving to the upside again. Now we are coming back down. Now let's talk about that. Okay, I'm gonna remove this drawings here, zoom in a little bit. I'm gonna go to 4 hour time frame here, and yeah. So first of all, so keep in mind that on the 4 hour, this is a structure we have broke and started moving to the upside. Now price is coming down and recovering 70 to 80%. That is totally normal. That's what price does to move further upside or change any directions there. Now what I'll be looking for here is, you can see that this is a weekly high we have here. Okay, basically that means that price did went up and now it's flipping bearish basically. So basically here this gives me more understanding that price is like coming back to the structures here. So if I just go to a smaller time frame like 1 hour, what I'll be looking for here is I might see multiple rejection here. Okay, at this point, and also I'm gonna mark this zone here. as a fake out zone because price did fake out and then dropped here, right? So yeah, I'm gonna I know that there is already a weekly high line drawn there, so it gives me more confusing a little bit. But yeah, it gives me more clarity, like what price is doing at this moment. We are still going down. Okay, now if I'm looking for any trade ideas on gold here, okay, the important stuff for me will be like something like this: either price to come up and reject this point and make a new low, then it gives me more clarity where price will be heading. Okay, but if it does not do that, then we might see something like this coming in to the market. Okay, this is a two scenario we can see. Okay, and the third is like in the, because this is today is the 15th December. Okay, we still have 15 days to go, and the 15th in the December month we do not have much momentum, you can say, that price do move much. So there's a possibility that price can move. So yeah, basically I think these are the two scenario that can play it out. Okay, I'm gonna remove this too. And the second thing what I think here is I'm just go to a bigger time frame here and remove this one. The second thing I see here on the 4 hour time frame is, even if we do move further down, right, and something like this happens, we're gonna, once we tap into this zone here, this key level of 6 to 20, we might see the change in the direction, something like this. Okay, but basically we should see some kind of a slowing down in the price, and then we can see the rise in the gold again. Or most likely, if we have a bad data on the gold, most likely what we can see, that price will be breaking this lows here, and we might see a strong bearish momentum coming in, and this will help gold to move more down. So also keep in mind, like, you just need to check the fundamental data. Like after that, most of the people, what they do is, when the news come out like NFP CPI data, even I was the person who was doing that, is trade at that time to gain more moves, basically like 70 100 pips. But I think that is the wrong way to look at the market at this moment. I think, like, once the data does come out, you need to analyze based on that, and you need to take a trade based on that. Otherwise, you need to have a more clear understanding of how the price data will come out. For that you need to study more economics, and I think, like, people sitting here like me, I do not have any economical degree, basically. So I think, like, we need to learn more stuff on that part. So yeah, that is the analysis on gold, GBP, JPY, and JBP USD, basically. And I hope this was helpful. So thank you so much for watching this video and sticking with us to this journey. So yeah, thank you for being part of this amazing trading journey. I hope I see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye. And don't forget to check our web store.